Reduced facial puffiness might sound like a minor cosmetic perk of weight loss, but in reality, it's one of the most instantly noticeable and surprisingly transformative changes that people experience. That vague, something looks different about you reaction people get when they're on a health kick? 9 times out of 10, it's the face. When fat retention and inflammation in the face start to fade, the entire facial landscape shifts from soft and swollen to sculpted and defined. It's not about chasing a chiseled jawline, though that might happen too. It's about clarity. Facial puffiness often clouds the natural angles and expressions that make a person uniquely themselves. When that puffiness retreats, it's like unwrapping a present and finally seeing the shape of what's underneath. Fat accumulation in the face tends to settle in predictable areas: the cheeks, under the chin, around the jawline, and sometimes even around the eyes. This extra padding doesn't just make the face rounder, it can distort proportions and obscure definition. You might lose the crispness of your jaw, the arc of your cheekbones, or even the expressive lines of your smile. In some cases, excess facial fat also puts mild pressure on facial structures, which can slightly alter how features like the eyes and mouth appear in motion. It's subtle, but it all adds up to a face that can look heavier, sleepier, or older than it actually is. But when weight loss kicks in, especially if it's supported by better hydration and anti-inflammatory nutrition, those swollen areas begin to soften, tighten, and recede. The jawline sharpens. The chin becomes less hidden in profile. Even the nose can appear more proportionate as the surrounding tissue slims. Your eyes look bigger not because they've changed, but because they're no longer fighting for attention among bloated cheeks or under-eye bags. People often report looking more awake, more symmetrical, and oddly more like themselves, even if they didn't realize their face had changed that much to begin with. It's not just fat that contributes to facial puffiness, either. Inflammation and water retention, especially from high-sodium diets, alcohol, lack of sleep, or chronic stress, can all inflate the face in ways that feel stubborn and hard to identify. One salty dinner, and you wake up looking like you borrowed someone else's head. But when you start losing weight in a healthy, sustainable way, chances are you're also cutting back on processed food, drinking more water, and managing your stress more effectively. All of those changes compound into less facial swelling and a more toned appearance. Even modest fat loss, paired with anti-inflammatory habits, can dramatically alter how lean and structured your face looks. There's a sort of optical illusion that happens with facial puffiness, too. When your face is swollen, everything appears wider and less defined, which can throw off facial proportions. The forehead can seem smaller, the cheeks too full, the jaw less distinct. But as that extra volume fades, balance is restored. Your face doesn't become someone else's. It becomes more harmonized with your natural bone structure. The geometry of your face becomes visible again. It's not unlike wiping fog off a mirror. You haven't changed what's being reflected, you've just made it sharper and more accurate. And the benefits aren't purely visual. Many people report that with less facial swelling, they also feel more expressive and emotionally connected. Your smile stretches more easily. Your eyebrows lift without resistance. You feel like your face is yours again, not something you have to hide behind or explain away. And let's face it, pun fully intended, when your facial features are no longer blurred by bloating or distortion, your selfies get an automatic upgrade, even without filters. So while reduced facial puffiness might sound like a small win in the grand scheme of weight loss, it's often the one that people notice first, and the one that helps them feel most visible again. Not thinner, not more model-like, but more recognizable, more vibrant, more you. And that kind of transformation is anything but superficial.